Alrighty, so for the next part, we'll talk about teething. So super important with these puppies to have lots of toys accessible. So sometimes you do need to teach them what toys are and kind of make them fun. I do highly recommend rope toys, so those are great, especially the braided ones, because you can put a little bit of their canned food if you have it, or maybe a little bit of just natural peanut butter. Want to make sure that the peanut butter does not have any other additives, it's just strictly peanuts and salt. And you can put these into the creases to make it a little more interesting so that they're more inclined to play with it and chew on it. There are some other toys as well, like holy rollers, some other treats like rawhides that are great as well. They do have ones that come in all different sizes. So there is one called CET chews, which are rawhides that have a coat which help with dental health as well, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But super important to have these toys and always give them the opportunity. You know, you want to redirect them, so have a toy on you at all times, so when they get crazy and get a little nippy, you can give them this toy to put in their mouth and redirect them so that they chew on this, because skin is never an acceptable toy. You never want to give them old shoes, old socks, anything old to chew on as well, because if you teach them to chew on an old shoe or sock, they're going to think that every shoe and sock is available to them to chew on. So you definitely want to teach them that it's only dog toys that they're supposed to chew on, nothing else. These guys do teeth, so typically between 3 and 7 months they do start to lose their baby teeth, as some are breaking their baby teeth in and growing, and some are also starting to get their adult teeth in between those months. So as the baby tooth is there, their adult tooth is actually pushing that baby tooth out, so they're almost double teething. So they're pushing that baby tooth out, and then their adult tooth comes in the same spot. So while they're going through all that teething process, that's when you'll notice that they'll start nipping on things or possibly destroying things they're not supposed to. So having toys available is super important for these guys. You may notice that they'll lose baby teeth, so you may notice baby teeth in toys on the floor. You may also not notice baby teeth. It is super common for these guys to swallow their baby teeth, and you may not even know that they lost some. But I do always forewarn people when they're going through their teething and losing teeth that there may be a tinge of blood that is normal, as long as there's not an excessive amount of blood. So just make sure that they have toys to keep their mouths busy. That's really the most important thing. For older dog or for large breed dogs, sometimes you need something that keeps them a little more occupied, so you can have Kongs, which I do have one over here, that you can fill with some wet food and freeze or do a little bit of peanut butter. These are great. So for bigger dogs, they also have lots of different sizes, so you can even do for smaller dogs as well. They have smaller Kongs, but these are great to fill with a treat and freeze it. It keeps them busy for you know, maybe an hour or so, so that's a really good thing to use for these guys and to have in stock. And also these like holy rollers, you can put big cookies in them, and they have to kind of roll it to try to get the cookie out and chew on it. So having these kind of toys is super important to keep them busy, and helps them while they're teething to help get those teeth out and to kind of soothe their gums and stuff. So make sure you have lots of things available for these guys. And like I said, always make sure you're redirecting. Also, there's such things as puzzle toys, which are great for some of our working dogs or maybe Arctic breeds that need a little something more. So sometimes, you know, getting them to chew on a rope toy or a Kong is not enough. So they do have puzzle toys, which you can Google on Amazon or PetSmart, Chewy, and they're actually toys where you have to work to get their treats out that you can put in there. So that's also something that kind of helps with the mental stimulation, which can exhaust them just as much as taking them out on walks and things like that and doing exercises. So having toys is super important, and making sure, you know, obviously you want to make sure you're watching them, because some puppies are very good at destroying toys that they're not supposed to. So make sure they're not getting into any kind of stuffing out of the toys that could be harmful for them. Talking about more dental health and with the teeth that they're using. So once all those baby teeth come out, you can start with teeth brushing, and like I said, these dental chews also help with the cleaning process as well. So it actually is covered in Chlorhex, which helps with cleaning the teeth and breaking down that plaque and tartar. We do recommend using a toothbrush and doggy toothpaste, so getting them used to their teeth being brushed at least twice a day is super important. So they do get dental disease just like we do as humans, and it is good to practice, especially for the little guys. As soon as they're, you know, 2 years or older, they'll need a dental cleaning, and a dental cleaning in the animal field does require full anesthesia, because these guys unfortunately don't just sit there and let us clean their teeth like we get done. So we do have to put them under full anesthesia. So if you can push that off by doing things at home, that's super important. There are such things as doggy toothbrushes and doggy toothpaste that you can get. And when they're puppies, you know, you don't obviously need to do a whole lot of brushing with their baby teeth, but just putting a little bit of the doggy toothpaste on your finger and just getting them the idea of the taste of it, of the toothpaste, and kind of rubbing it on their teeth and their gums, and then kind of work up to the toothbrush. There is in your packet, your little puppy packet, that purple folder, there is an instruction on how to get them used to getting their teeth brushed, so you can follow that and work on that at home. But it's good to get them used to now. There are other products. There's liquid products you can put in their water, which is great. Another alternative, like I said, the chews. Rawhides are great, and those both help with dental health and teething. A lot of people have mixed emotions about rawhides. The really only thing is that big dogs typically get a tiny rawhide that end up swallowing them, and they choke on it. So it's just making sure that you get the right rawhide for the right size dog. Also, getting just the plain rolled white rawhides are really great. It doesn't have any of the dyes or anything like that. It's just regular dehydrated skin rolled for them to chew on. That really helps, especially for the larger breed dogs. I like those. You can buy big packs at Costco. I'd stay away from the deer antlers or the hooves, because those can actually cause your dog to break their teeth or fracture their teeth. So stay away from things that are hard like that. The antlers are like giving your dog a rock to chew on, so the rawhides, at least as they work on them, they get soft, and they can chew on them, and they are enough to dissolve, and they can digest them in their system. So those are really a great opportunity as well to have, that can be used both for dental health in the future and also for the teething part as you're working through that. But just make sure you're giving them redirection, so when they're trying to chew on you, you're giving them the toy to chew on, and kind of, you know, redirecting, here, this is what you're supposed to chew on, not me, not on my shoes, not on my skin. Sometimes these guys do get extremely crazy, and no matter how hard you're trying to redirect them and you're being patient, sometimes you just need to kind of put them in what I call a happy timeout. So just go into your crate, here's your toy, you're not yelling at them, you're not making it a punishment in any way, shape, or form, you're just putting them nicely in their crate with a toy, and here, you can chew on this for a few minutes. And quickly they will learn that if they don't act crazy, they get the opportunity to stay out. But when they are acting crazy and they're nipping you and they're being too aggressive, maybe because they're getting too excited and playful, and they go into their crate, they'll kind of learn what they get to stay out for and what they don't. So just make sure that you have, you know, the redirection available, and if they're getting a little too crazy, you can put them in their crate so that they can, you know, stay in there for a few minutes, and then you can let them back out. But playing, you know, is super important with these guys, and giving them some time to play and have the toys available is really good for them to help. So yeah, there's lots of things. There are some sprays like bitter apple or some sprays that are supposed to help with not chewing on things. Those are hit and miss. Sometimes they do work, sometimes they don't. So it's something you can try, but really the redirection and just positive reinforcement. So when you are redirecting and they're chewing on their toy, or you find that they are getting their toy on their own to chew on, you just praise them and, you know, say, good job, Fluffy. That, you know, and give them that positive reinforcement. And when they're chewing on something again with that negative, you know, you don't want to do any of that negative reinforcement. So if they're chewing on something they're not supposed to, or they get a little nippy, you just happily, you know, put them in a happy timeout or try to redirect them, because that's super important for these guys. Like I said, making sure you're trying and getting them used to getting their teeth brushed, that's super important as well. So just kind of getting them exposed to all these things really helps with dental care in the future, and then also helping so you're not having things destroyed in the house or having things destroyed as far as their toys and stuff if they're not you know, learning to play properly.